Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print, the Force is with the readers, and we move into 1984 in the Marvel series this time. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler. This is another of those comics that I had when I was a kid, though not nearly as well remembered as Diplomacy that we've looked at recently. The issue in question this time is number 83, the very next one entitled Sweetheart Contract. Now, again, as I said, this is one I had when I was a kid. This is the nice version that I got when I was in college. This is, of course, the beat-up, all kind of trashed around copy from when I was a kid. But again, I've kept the thing, warts and all, over the years. I'm not even sure what it is that's staining the corner up there. Well, God only knows at this point. Where you can find this these days is in the pages of, among other places, Classic Star Wars A Long Time Ago Prestige Format Series number 6. This is the one that also includes Ellie, which we've seen, the Alderaan Factor, which we haven't but will soon, and Ty, which is the last chronological one that they did wind up including in this series, along with being the last in that series. We'll see that a little while later on. You can also find it these days more easily in the pages of Star Wars Omnibus A Long Time Ago, Volume 4. Now, this is an unusual story in that it's not by our usual creative team, with Joe Duffy doing the writing and Ron Frenz doing the artwork. This time, it's a story by Linda Grant with art by Bob McLeod, who also did the lettering. And it starts off cool enough. We have Lando there, falling on the cover. Looks kind of cool. We got that jet sled kind of thing there that they're flying in. That's kind of cool. It's him and Danu. And he's come to the planet Drogheda. And on this planet, he's been called by Queen Sarna, who's an old flame of his, and the idea is that she wants his help to put down revolutionaries who are acting up against the government. The Empire is gone, they're not quite sure what's next, but they know they don't want a revolution on this planet. So Sarna says, "Please, Lando, can you help me? Batting eyes, jumping into bed." Or at least batting eyes, not sure about the jumping into bed part, but, it's Lando, so it seems kind of par for the course here, at least the way they played up the character and his suaveness over the years. Suffice to say, he winds up befriending, or meeting again, it's someone he'd known before, Danu, which is Sarna's sister, kind of all grown up now. So Lando winds up helping them to go after the revolutionaries and such, and trying to drown them out of one of their mines and whatnot, to try to get them out of one of their bases, only to wind up finding out later that, oh, wait, as one man at a bar says, "You missed the action today. We wiped out another branch of revolutionaries. Good. If we don't nip this democracy nonsense in the bud, we'll all be out of work." Realizing that it's the revolutionaries who want democracy and Sarna wants to keep herself in power as a monarchy, and he's now part of the alliance pushing democracy everywhere they possibly can, he finally confronts her. "Sarna, I'm fighting a democracy?" She argues against him, of course, to the point where he finally says, and this kind of shows growth of Lando's character, I think, "I may be mercenary, but since I joined the rebellion, I've earned a lot of people's respect. I'm not throwing all of that away on you. Find yourself another sucker. I'm leaving." At which point he becomes a target, only to wind up being helped by Danu, who turns out to be the revolutionaries' contact inside the palace. He finally winds up working with her, manages to hold her at gunpoint, to finally wind up getting them to surrender. The world shall be a democracy, and Danu is going to be one of the ones to help make sure that everything runs the way it is supposed to. Unfortunately, the punishment for Sarna is not execution, but exile. And because he needs money, she's exiled, at least initially, with Lando. Not something Lando is all that happy about. She says, "You're not thinking straight. Imagine how much money we could make with my brain and your skills." To which he replies, "I'd be the brains of the operation, if we had one." "You? Brains? Don't make me laugh." And they both at the same time say, "Now here's my plan. It seems like a new partnership is forming. We will see future stories with Sarna and Lando out there conning the galaxy and otherwise making a fortune. Only, no, not so much. Sarna never returns again. After this issue, she just sort of vanishes off the face of the universe." So, it's an interesting story. Nice little twist there to realize that they are fighting democracy. Not sure it was entirely not seen coming, but, enough that, you kind of say, aha, whenever you finally get to that moment. But, again, this always begs the question, is this an essential read? If you're going to take the time to find it, maybe even hunting down the original issue, is this an essential read? Should you hunt it down? The answer is no. Sorry. As much as it's kind of cool to see Lando in a story by himself, with no other backup from other characters, Unfortunately, it affects nothing. Like I said, Sarna never shows up again, and we don't get references really back to this issue. So aside from a brief mention of Sarna in Idiot's Array, years and years and years later, there's really nothing in this issue that says, read me again, read me in modern times. It just isn't there. There's not much there, as the saying goes. So, not essential for modern readers, and not essential either for old Marvel readers like me. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the readers.